Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I've got a video on our family nights dinners. I've got 5 dinners to share with you today. I am going to tell you how much it's cost me to make these meals. I know it's really hard at the moment with prices fluctuating and I can't really give you an exact price because, you know, pumpkin could be more expensive at the shop you're going to, or it could be cheaper if you go somewhere else. But I have only bought these ingredients from places like Aldi and Woolworths. I haven't been to fruit and vegetable shops, and I haven't been to the markets to get a better discount. So I have paid top dollar for these ingredients. So it's possible that you can make these meals a lot cheaper than me. But I will put it up on the screen how much it has cost me, just to give you an estimated price on how much it could cost you and your family. Every family is different. I've got a family of 4. It's myself, my husband, my 6-year-old and my 10-year-old. I do have 2 boys. Food is costing a lot more money the older they get. 4 out of 5 of these meals that I found I had leftovers and I had enough food for the 4 of us for the next day, either for lunch or for dinner. And I found them well-balanced family meals that my family enjoyed. They ate it all, which is always hard to get. And it was in a fairly good budget. So I'll show you the meals today and I hope you enjoy this video and it gives you some ideas. And thank you everyone for watching. The first meal today is a homemade ravioli. My husband got a pasta machine for his birthday and he's been just making ravioli ever since. If you don't have a pasta machine, he has done this before without a pasta machine and just a rolling pin. It just gets a little bit more thicker, the dough, unless you get it really thin. It is a lot easier with a pasta machine. The pasta machine didn't cost a lot of money. But so at the moment here, he's just starting with some frozen spinach. We just like to have our spinach ravioli. He is going to use some mushrooms in a separate one as well. But I preferred the spinach one to my liking, but the mushroom is really good too because we're not using any meat. So he's just whizzing up the mushrooms here and putting them in the pan to cook. He will add 1 onion and share it between the 2 pans, and then he'll just put a little bit of olive oil in there just to fry it up, and the spinach needs to be defrosted, of course. But this is a really easy meal. If you do have a pasta machine, it does take time. It is time consuming as well. It's not quick, but I thought the next time we make it, we might make a double lot and freeze it because it does take a while to make it, even if you're just using limited ingredients. You could use meat in here or cheese or whatever you wanted, but we just stayed with the traditional like mushroom and spinach, and just to try them both, but I still prefer the spinach. You could use fresh spinach, but frozen spinach is so easy, and it's really good to get that into the kids as well without them sort of knowing. They know there's spinach in there, but they didn't care because they just thought it was delicious anyway with a bit of Parmesan cheese and all that on there. So my husband Derek will just cook all these ingredients now, and then we'll get started on the dough.
You're giving me just what I need. No time for riddles. You're in the middle of my self-release. You have unchained me.
We're using the recipe of a box of flour that we got. The brand is Anchor, and it's got the classic pasta dough on the back of it. It's the Lighthouse brand. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but we just wanted to try it out with the pastas and things like that we've been making lately. And you could use other flour, but we're just trying it out with this one. So he's put in 1 2/3 cups of pasta plain flour. We've used the double O plain flour. He's actually going to put 2 eggs in now, and then he's going to put in 3 egg yolks. So this is a really filling pasta that's full of protein. There's lots of eggs in it, and the flour that I'm using is probably high in protein as well. We found it just so filling. when we make this, it doesn't look like there's a lot of ravioli there, but it's just so filling. And even the next day, we had enough for lunch each as well, with the same sauce on top. It was just really delicious and really filling, and the kids really love it. So he's just separating the eggs now, and he will add that to the flour. He'll put some olive oil in there, which is a tablespoon of olive oil, like 20 mils, and also a pinch of salt as well has to go in there. We've got the dough fitting on the mixer, which is really handy, and he's just going to mix that up now to get it into the right consistency of dough, and then we're going to check on the mixture that goes into it and then start rolling it out.
Troubles seem to haunt me. You uncover the truth, 'cause nothing really matters when you see it from a distance. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I'm up higher than planes could take me. I have acquired everything I need. You set me off into emotion. Oh yeah, where I can just be free.
So he's rolled the dough out and he's put it into cling wrap, and you are supposed to, accordingly to the recipe, keep it in the fridge for 2 to 3 hours to rest. I don't think we left ours in the fridge that long, so probably the best thing to do is to get started on the dough and put that in the fridge before you start with the mixture that goes inside the ravioli. Derek has just added 2 huge spoonfuls of ricotta to each bowl. We get the ricotta from Aldi. I find it really cheap from there, and you get a lot. So this meal doesn't cost a lot, and you can put less ricotta in and more vegetables or whatever it is to your liking, but this is just what we're sort of sticking to. So my husband and my son are just mixing these in now and just getting it to the right consistency. And then they're going to start making the ravioli.
I don't spend time thinking about what could go wrong. I deal with them one at a time. I'm holding my head up. You give a little, but you're giving me just what I need.
the Essentials Tomato Pasta Sauce here, just the cheap one. I think it's a little bit over $2 and you get a large jar. We did use all of that. The trick with the ravioli is not to overfill it, otherwise it will open up. You want it to be completely sealed around the sides. We just used like a scone cutter that I found in the drawer. It's not a special ravioli cutting thing or anything like that. So you boil it for around about 5 minutes, like in boiling salted water, and it's pretty quick. And so this is the spinach ravioli first. We had a few servings and we had servings left the next day. And then we're going to serve out the mushroom one separately. The mushroom one had a little bit of the flavouring of the spinach inside it as well in the sauce, because some of it had opened up a little bit, obviously, and leaked out a little bit of the spinach. But it was just perfect. So the mushroom one was really good too, and you could do it with pumpkin. Pumpkin and spinach would be really nice as well. We're just putting a little bit of parmesan on top. This is a great cheap meal and only cost us around $10 for 4 people for dinner, and we had leftovers for the next day. So tonight we're going to have a pumpkin soup. I love this recipe and I've been using it probably since I've been about 16 years of age, this recipe. The only thing I don't have is sour cream, but I do have some Greek yogurt to dollop on top. So I've got my pumpkin cut up here. It wasn't that expensive. If you buy a whole pumpkin, sometimes you're looking at about $5 to $6 if you look around. Beautiful pumpkin here, and I've already had one meal out of it as well. The other night we just had it sliced up with fish or something like that, but it's a really beautiful color, and that's the color you're looking for when you're making pumpkin soup. Sometimes you get that pale, opaque sort of a color in pumpkin soup, and it just doesn't make the soup, but it depends purely on the pumpkin before anything else. Now I've got potatoes off because I've got a lot of pumpkin there. I'm going to put 3 potatoes in. I never put any more than 3 in. It's usually only 2 to 3 potatoes depending on how much pumpkin I've got. I'm going to fry 1 onion and some real butter. And I've got some chicken stock here. This is going to be handy. Usually I just use the cube one, but it's already made up for me today. And I'm only just starting to use these a little bit more. They're a lot more expensive, but sometimes they're really handy. So I've got a litre of that, which I probably will need. Sometimes it's hard to tell with pumpkin soup. You can make it really watery. And if it gets too watery, I sometimes just put another potato in there to cook, or if you had some Deb potato, that would be great too, just that powdered Deb, you can mix it in. And then on the top of it, I'm going to grate some nutmeg with some Greek yogurt. Usually it'd be some nutmeg, pepper and salt, and some sour cream, but I don't have any sour cream, but that's okay, the Greek yogurt's fine. I'm going to put this all into my pressure cooker today. I'm going to saute it, so I'm going to set that up on saute now. And the best thing about the saute is that I can fry the onion. Yeah, and cook it for, well, it's a pressure cooker, so I'm going to probably put it on for about half an hour to an hour to see how it goes. And then I've also got a heap of veggies to prep today. I'm going to prep them, cook them, put them in the fridge into containers. So I've got some vegetables for the week. Over here, this is my little station for my croutons. Tonight I'm going to top the pumpkin soup with some croutons. I was going to make bread, and then I was thinking garlic bread, but I thought croutons would be really good on this. Haven't made it in years. I don't have like the baguette bread or the loaf of bread, which you really do need, but I found a heap of this stale bread that I froze because I bought it from Brumby's at Easter time, and you know, we left it out for a couple of days, and I thought I'll just put that in the freezer, write stale bread on it, and I can use it for you know, garlic bread, or I can use it for breadcrumbs or something like that. And I'm going to store it in a mason jar. They say that you can put it in a mason jar for up to a week or so, or 2 weeks or something like that, as long as it's airtight. And if you use a clip seal bag, they say to let the air out of it. So let's get into it today. Just going to make this soup now. It's really easy because the pumpkin's already cut up. You should have a really beautiful sweet pumpkin soup. You can also fry the pumpkin or like bake it first. I do have a saute pressure cooker, but there's a lot of pumpkin there and my pressure cooker probably won't do it too much, but I can give it a little bit of a fry up in it.
In in and out of love, never get enough. We never seem to get older. When things are going right, you seem to have the time, but when it's hard, you just grow cold up. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. Been here 1,000 times. Set up a stage of lies. Say we're done, say it's over. Shouldn't be coming back, but somehow we connect. Acting drunk even though we're sober. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. It's deja vu. Memories come back when I'm with you. Keep lighting fires. The words repeat cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. We keep on talking and talking, talking and talking. Memories come back when I'm with you. It's deja vu.
Okay, so I'm going to cut up the croutons now. I'm going to make that just out of that stale bread I've got. I've got a serrated knife as well, and I'm just going to put some toppings on it. You know, you can put any seasoning of your choice on it. I'm just going to use, like I said, the garlic powder, the parsley, onion flakes, and some garlic powder, some sea salt, and some olive oil.
Unsaid, and you cannot forget how my mistakes haunt us, but do they really daunt us? Your tongue can be sharp, cut me close to the heart, but we can master the art. And the thing is that these scars are scary, but they are just some old scars. We should never be afraid of them.
I'm just going to try this lot first. I do have 3 more pieces of bread left, but I'm sort of looks like I'm overflowing the pan a little bit here. So I'm just going to put them in there and spread them around a bit because I want them all to be cooked properly. So I've actually probably put too much in here. Okay, so I'm just going to hit them with olive oil. something tells me you need a lot of olive oil on these. So I'm just gonna give it a lot of olive oil and then just turn them over. I've got a bit of parsley. I'm just gonna sprinkle a bit of parsley over it. Onion powder. Had a bit of rain here lately and everything seems to be got a bit of moisture in everything, like the salts and things. And I've just got this big garlic powder as well. Okay, a bit of salt. Like that, because they don't have any salt in them. And then I'm just going to get the tongs. It sucks up the olive oil really quickly. My croutons are cooked now after about 20 minutes. As you can see, they're all really crunchy now and really good. Olive oil really makes it. And I've also got the mason jar at the back there. Once I cool these down, they have to be really cool. You don't want to put them in the jar if they're steaming hot or they're going to cause moisture, so they have to be completely dry. I'm just going to leave them out now and completely cool them down before they go into the mason jar. And they'll look really good on some pumpkin soup or even a salad. It didn't take me long, and I know I didn't have the right bread, but you know, it's still really nice, you know. And if you've got some stale old bread, keep it, pop it in the freezer. You can reuse it, put it in a jar or a bag, let the air out, you know. And there's heaps of recipes online for it. Yeah, really easy, and you don't have to put bread with the soup. I've just made the croutons and put them on top. Okay, I've just let the steam out of the pressure cooker now. Thought I'd show you what it looks like. It's been in for 30 minutes. And I'm just going to put it on again, you know, just so it makes it easier for me. I'm going to put it on again, and by the time it goes on again for another 30 minutes, I can whiz that when it gets a bit cooler. And then we've got dinner. Okay, I'm going to prep some vegetables now. I'm going to wash them, and I'm going to cook them up in the oven. I've already got the oven on because the croutons were in, and this can be just eaten throughout the day, or I can give it to the kids at night time with something else, maybe tomorrow night. I'm just going to line my tray with a little bit of oil. I love this tray. I got this from Maya. It was on special for $20 instead of $40, and I love it. And I'm going to probably get another one even when they come down to $20. I'm going to get another one. It's just so solid, and I grab it all the time, more than any other tray.
Too far apart, everything just falls apart. So I just close my eyes and dream about our kids and how they're running around. Won't you come and lay down next to me? Close your eyes and we'll be free. I'll keep my head high while we're crossing the land. With all the minds we laid down, it's gonna take us some time, but I won't give get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight. Didn't follow my dreams, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Slow it down, dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth the while. You will
Okay,
make
so I've got my croutons and they're all cooled down now. I've left them for about an hour. They're really toasty and oily, and there's just enough herbs and spices on them as far as I'm concerned. You know, you don't even need herbs and spices, just some salt and olive oil will do the trick. But, you know, cheap way to make them. I could have made them a bit smaller, as you can see. Like, I could have made them smaller, but you can break them up. It doesn't take long just to quickly break them up or whatever if you want to make them smaller for children, or if you prefer your croutons a lot smaller. Now I've just got this mason jar here, and you want to make sure that it's completely cooled down and there's no moisture in there whatsoever. And I'm just going to pop this now in the jar, seal it up, and yeah, I'll put that on top of our pumpkin soup.
some love in this crazy world. I feel like I was never heard. All I wanted was to
Okay, so I've put the pressure cooker back on again. So it's been on for an hour. I guess everyone's pressure cooker is different. It's just at the perfect consistency for me. So I'm gonna let that cool down a bit now before I whisk. I've got one of these mixers. I just used to use a blender for this. If you've got a blender, that's fine as well. I'm just gonna use my mixer, my hand mixer, because it's just a lot easier because I don't have to set it up, and our croutons will go on top.
What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. You will find a way. Slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth the while. You will make
So as you can see, it's a really nice velvety consistency. It's just the perfect thickness. You know, it's hard to tell sometimes how many potatoes to put in it, but because I had a lot of pumpkin, I just put those 3 potatoes in it. It doesn't need any more. Like, sometimes it can be really watery, because I did put a litre of chicken stock with that as well. But yeah, I'm gonna have a little bowl now before the kids get home from school. So I'll dish some of that out with a little bit of yogurt on top, and put some croutons and some nutmeg on top, and show you what it looks like. So I've just got some nutmeg. I just buy the whole nutmegs. I just like them like this. It's like a little bit fresher, I think. It's probably not, but you know, I just like to grate it, I guess. I'm just gonna grate a little bit of nutmeg just on top. It is quite strong, so just a little bit at the top of that. And sometimes the kids are quite picky, sometimes they won't want it, so I don't put it in the soup as much. A little bit of salt. And then I'm gonna get the croutons now, and I'm going to put the croutons on top.
Don't talk about it like you're crazy. You know damn well I can't replace you. Just say what you mean. Don't waste your time.
Okay, today's dinner is going to be a chicken, mushroom and bacon pie. So I'm just sort of dealing with the ingredients that I've got today. I have got all the ingredients, but I don't really have any fresh garlic. I've got minced garlic, which is going to be fine anyway. I found some cream, like it's like a whipping cream. It says cooks or pours. I've only got that cream today. I don't have any other cream, but I did have that in my stockpile cupboard. So thank goodness I had that in there. I don't have any other chicken stock, but some of this powdered one, which is exactly the same thing. So I'm going to make that up with water. I used my last one yesterday. I've got mushrooms. So basically it's just bacon. You don't have to put the bacon and chicken in together if you don't like that. If I didn't have any bacon, I wouldn't be using the bacon. I'd be just using the chicken. And even if you didn't want meat in this, you could just use like mushrooms and some veggies and things like that as well. So it looks like quite a nice recipe. So I've got some bacon. I have some chicken thigh here that's been in the freezer. So I'm just like, that's defrosted now. I've got some mushrooms. So it's about 200 grams of mushrooms, some olive oil, some plain flour, some salt, and some pepper. I've also got an egg and some sesame seeds and an onion. The sesame seed and egg is just for the topping, and some pastry. You're supposed to have, I think, 3 pieces of pastry, but I've only got 2 pieces of pastry. So that's okay. I've dealt with that before when I've had to make like spinach pies and things. It's going to be fine. It's still all going to taste the same. So I'm going to put this all together now and cook it up and get it done early before the kids come home from school. I'm cooking this early in the morning, so I've got like just time. I just like having it cooked, washed up and all that sort of thing. So then this afternoon when I get home from school, it's just easy. I'll put a link below in my description area on the recipe if it's something that you'd like to try.
Say what you mean, say what you mean. And you'll get what you need, get what you need. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you. The way you look at me is absent. It's like you're walking through a labyrinth. Just say what's going on? Don't waste your time being all alone. Say what you mean, say what you mean. And you'll get what you need, get what you need. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you. Don't play me, cause you're pushing me away. Don't say to me that we'll talk another day. Cause my phone won't be ringing anyway. That's how you roll, yeah. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you. What I do is try to give you more than words. When I say I quit, it's only cause it hurts. We got places we can go to figure out what we've done, what we need, what to do. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, I'm just cooking it until the mushroom gets soft. Everything's really cooked now and looks really nice. Looks like a real nice combination of food there. Like even without the bake. You could just make this without the bacon if you wanted to, thicken it up and make a pie out of that. Okay, so now I'm going to add the chicken back into it, and then we're going to thicken it up. So there's the chicken thigh that I cooked just before. Pop this back in to get all the flavours through the chicken as well. Some plain flour here, and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in it. We're just going to stir that and just sort of cook that for about a minute. Half a cup of chicken stock goes in there, and then what I do is I'm just going to simmer that now with the lid on. It just says to simmer it now for about, I think, 10 to 15 minutes. So now I'm just going to pop the lid on that now, and then after 10 minutes, I think, or 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to come back to it and put one last important ingredient into it. I did add just a little bit more water to it, just so it made a little bit more sauce. It was just very dry, so I just added a little bit more, you know, maybe about another 50 to 100 ml more. Final ingredient now to the pie mixture is the cream. Now I don't have like the cream you put in the fridge, I've got pantry cream, so I'm going to pop that in there now. And now it's 1/3 cup of cream.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble lacking everlasting ego. I guess it never hit you. Our conversation takes two, paying it some interest from time to time. Inside all that greatness and all of your adventures.
The next meal I'm making will be a Mexican platter, or you could call it a Mexican tray. Here's all the ingredients I will be putting in ours. This is probably more of the expensive meals out of the 5 that I have made, just purely because the refried beans were more expensive, and you can get these cheaper at Coles. I know they have their own brand, or you can make your own, but they were around about $3.50. I am using chicken mince. Now, the chicken mince I used, I don't think I needed the whole amount. I would next time only use half of this chicken mince, because it didn't really taste like there was any meat in it anyway. And so if you just put half of it in, you're saving $3 on the chicken mince on this meal, or you could find maybe a beef mince cheaper. I usually only use beef mince in this, but the chicken mince was really good. It wasn't overpowering and as strong as beef. It just had like a tame sort of taste. I found it really nice in this Mexican tray bake. So now I'm just frying the chicken mince here with some onion, and I'm just cooking off some jasmine rice. Any rice would do. And then I'm going to mix in the taco seasoning now with a little bit of water. If you've got like a bucket of taco seasoning, I think people get it from Costco. That would work out a lot cheaper too, but I'm just putting that in our costings. So like that's around about $1.10 now, or the Aldi one's a little bit cheaper. I'm just going to add in some rice. I think we just put about a cup of rice in. And then while that's cooking, I'm going to put the refried beans and some sour cream, just so it's not so thick. I put a little bit more sour cream into the refried beans because I'm going to spread it. So I've lined a baking tray with some baking paper, and I'm just going to spread the mixture, like the refried beans and sour cream mixture, over the base of it, so I'll be able to layer it with other ingredients.
You're all alone. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble and everlasting ego. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes, oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes, with his humble and everlasting ego. Someone hurt your feelings not that long ago, and every bit of you couldn't face the truth that maybe you're just not that nice and humble kind. That would be a lie. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble act.
So that got put in the oven just to heat all the way through and melt the cheese and heat up all the corn chips. I'm going to now top that with some jalapenos just on one side so the kids don't get any of the jalapenos. I've got shallots and I'm going to use some sour cream. This is a lot of ingredients, but I just had it anyway. But you could make it a lot cheaper than I'm making it. And with the beans and the rice, it made it so filling that we had extra for the next day as well. Now I'm just making a good old savory mince. I've got about 500 grams of mince here. You can use less than that. I just had that in the freezer. I've got some minced garlic. I'm going to be using some beef stock. You can use the cheaper stock for this. I just had that. I'm going to be using some celery, some carrots, and some onion. Usually I don't put celery, but I had it. Worcestershire, some olive oil, and some gravy powder. And I have got some potatoes too that I've chopped up. And I'm just going to pop this in the pressure cooker. It's just so much easier because I have a saute setting on the pressure cooker, which is really helpful. So I'm going to fry the mince off and I'll add some garlic, some onion to it, and the vegetables. And also I'll be adding the potatoes, and then I will be putting the stock in as well. peas in as just an extra option if you want to use peas. You don't even need to put the celery either. I just had it. And I'm just thickening it up with some gravy now, and I'm going to put it on again just so I can get it really thick for dinner tonight. Thank you everyone for watching this video today, and I hope that it's given you some ideas for family meals for the week ahead. And I'll see you next time for my next video. Thanks everyone. Bye.